I was just doing a little research for the other day to prove someone else a point that we haven't evolved to live in cities in this density with this
Right.
environment. And there's actual research that's saying that it's true because, first of all, the density of population is not good for you because most of our lives, historically, we lived in small tribes. And we talked about the Dunbar number before. So, which means you're comfortable with knowing 150 people. And if you're now living in a multi-million megapolis, what it does, you don't know about it yet. I mean, you don't know about it consciously, but essentially it creates a stress for you because
Yeah.
your nervous system, your brain, it has to categorize like, okay, this is much more than 150 people, so most of these people are strangers. So you live among strangers all the time, which it's very disturbing to your subconscious because you're not in your tribe.
And also, people are more likely to screw other people over because you're subconsciously thinking, hey, I don't know this guy. I can just scam this guy and I can get away with it.
And that's a whole city like that, imagine, because everybody's nervous system and psychology is the same. So it's the fact that everybody is less trustworthy to each other. As a result of this social overwhelm, people are less social in general because you're under threat. Your nervous system is stressed because of that.
Constantly strangers, and you have to, because
who are these people? What are they up to? You just don't know them.
It takes time for people to know each other, right? You got to talk to the person to understand what they're from or how they're, what their situation is, and if there's any commonalities. Yeah, so basically, there's almost a vetting process for you to find friends or find people who you can associate with. So yeah, if all you're doing every time you see strangers, like that's the whole process you got to start if you want to know that person. So it's like a lot of
all
energy.
You have to do is like do that and then go live in a village somewhere for 10 years.
Yeah.
The way of life is so different because in a village, you'll know everybody eventually.
Everyone knows each other,
and you'll have a community where people actually relate to each other, care for each other, greet each other, etc. And that's just the social aspect of it. The rest of it is the way the buildings are built, the fact that there's so much noise. There's noise pollution, there is light pollution at night. We're using all these devices and the computer screens till the very late of night. It disrupts circadian rhythms. So all of this in combination, and the fact that the small apartments, they're just terrible for you psychologically. The fact that there can be all kinds of mold and old furniture that creates terrible conditions for the air in your apartment. It can have 5 times more pollution essentially in your apartment due to that than outside. And if you live in that and if you breathe that 12 hours or 20 hours a day, it's bad for you. All of this, the air quality specifically, I read, it lowers your cognitive ability. Imagine that. So I researched all that because some guy was telling me, I like living in coziness of my flat in the city. Thank you very much, you like tree hugger. I'm like, really? You prefer living here in that little apartment in the middle of a polluted city than in nature? So weird. I would like to live in nature.
Yeah, this is kind of why I chose Vancouver. Sometime when you go out there into the nature, oh my God, the access to nature is definitely important. But see, that's the thing, right? Everything goes into each other because we're forced into cities because of economy, because of this idea that we need to create money. We need to create this exchange of value of thing, and then just kind of things get out of control, essentially, right? And now people are figuring out, we must industrialize, we must make people go into cities so they can service other people and industries and things, and to build more and more and more. And this is what's happening right now, right? And it's almost like the system will not work if you don't urbanize. But the problem is, obviously, like you point out, we're suffering all of these problems because of that, right? That's a consequence. So that we can have fancy cars, we can have fancy whatever you can buy. I mean, that's basically the whole thing. And now people are being spoon-fed that you need to be consuming, right? This and that and all this, buy that.